everybody, this is Overpass Live. My name is Eric and I make apps. This is our weekly live stream where we talk about whatever we want to talk about. And you know what? I'm getting a bit embarrassed about being in my bedroom with the plain wall behind me and I have to move everything out of the way. So I did, earlier today, if you saw today's video, I did get the green screen out and playing around with that a little bit. And I was I was going to put the logo up behind me and everything, but I didn't do any of that stuff. So I just got this brick wall. So hopefully it doesn't look too tacky. Although, okay, so like you're setting up all the green screen, like you spend like getting all the wrinkles out of it. You start doing it, and you realize, this looks pretty tacky. So I don't know if this is going to be on this next week, but just kind of doing it. I hope you guys have had a great week. It's been, and we've already got a thumbs down already. Can you first of all, let me say, could you guys hear me? Okay, you guys hear me? Just make sure sound check 1 2 3. Watch John stick. Syphilis. Was that syphilis? What did it say? Anyway, Mega Man, hey, how's it going? Billy's here. Hey, Billy, 25 minutes left. Have you been waiting? Are you still here, Billy? Are you? First time trying a premiere. Cordfunk, nice. Happy to see you got the scheduling working. Actually, to be honest with you, it was Rodrigo who said, like on Tuesday or Wednesday, said, Eric, you need to schedule these live streams in advance. Well, I know you guys have been saying that each and every single time, but I haven't done it. Okay, wait, so you guys can hear me, right? Cool. All right, so fantastic. So yeah, another week in lockdown. Got the city on lockdown. Is that the song? So I've been working on contract work. I've been doing Xamarin work, which actually isn't that bad. It's like one of those things where some things you fly through and other things you're like, why is this so hard? Why is this so hard to do it in this language? So, which I won't go into. We'll talk about apps and stuff. And in terms of my own applications, they've been, the revenue has been, it's been like just kind of down. And, it's been just like, it seems like with everything that's going on, there should be like this huge bunch of opportunity for all of us as app developers to go out and create things that would help people. I'm sure there's information apps that we could put out there. There's all kinds of things that we could do, stuff for, being able to, lots of applications we could do to help people, and I'm sure there's loads of people out there who are creating COVID-19 games or, ridiculous things, kill the virus type of things. John Mullahan's here. Hey, how's it going? Third person here. Woohoo! You got to keep it separated. I'm old. All right, I'm old. Liam's here. Hey, Liam, how's it going? Edward, Edward Carreno says, actually, I'm supposed to be doing the, that's right. We're going to do the showing it on the thing. So I'm using a new software. You guys asked a few weeks ago, using Ecamm Live, which seems like everybody's using that at the moment. It's actually, it works pretty well. So, yo, bro, sup, bro, sup, Edward. I'm glad you liked the videos. This week I only did 2 videos. One of them was like this morning. One of them was like, I set up the green screen. I did everything. So let's try it. And I did the green screen one. I thought, you know what? It looks really corporate and tacky. But, you live and learn. I missed the bland wall. The bland wall is still there. Actually, let me just do, just so you guys can still see how bad it looks. So this is the kind of stuff where you do the green screen. You get the lighting right. You do all that stuff. And then you realize that the edges are like way too, like they're too close. That's why I'm so close to the camera right now. Let me see if I can do that. Check that out, man, huh? I was going to do it with this. I thought it was like half an hour before the live stream. I thought, should I take the green screen down or should I just leave it up? Because I spent so much time messing around with it. And it wasn't for the video today. I wanted to do some promo stuff for the company. And also for a client. A client asked me to do some promo stuff. And I thought, actually, I don't want to do it like, it's just too crowded in the flat and everything with everything that's going on, the isolation. I thought I'll set up the green screen, do the green screen stuff. That way I could just do a white thing, do a presentation like I used to do back in the old days. Yeah, bland wall's still there. It's still there. I see it every morning when I wake up. Although now I'm going to see this green screen until I get up the Billy is still here. Yes. Tech Deal says, yo, hello, what a background. So there's like loads of background. Like I should have gone through and picked different ones, but so these are like out of the box. You could blur it. So these are out of the box Ecamm Live stuff. So you got the home office one. So here I am. I didn't want one that looked like I was obviously, like, it's so obvious that I'm on a green screen. You ever see those things where you're obviously Like they're obviously in a green screen and they're pretending they're not. I just think that's kind of funny. James is here. Hey James, how's it going? James, my designer Sandy, she's been just ill this week. It's just been. I feel like I'm making excuses every week. Sorry about that, James. The sound is amazing. Is it amazing? All right, finally we get the sound right. Lucas, yes. So yeah, you hear me. Yeah, we hear you. Cool. Cole E says hello. Sound a bit quiet, but it's crisp. Cool. Yeah, I think I still learning this new software and everything. Green screen looks good. I know, man. Green screen. This is professional. It's okay. All right. Back in the day when people created their first websites, they would do their first websites and then would try to use like Comic Sans font, and they'd be like, "That looks professional, doesn't it?" And everyone's like, "Yeah, it looks professional." In fact, a lot of us when we do our first apps, when we do our first app, we're like, "Ooh, that looks professional," right? Which is like, but yeah, this looks professional. It looks tacky. Looks tacky is tacky AF. I think the kids say, although they don't say tacky. Potionware, looking at the wall makes me dizzy. If you need to vomit, look away. All right, if you do vomit, put it in the comments because it'll be interesting. Okay, hey Eric, are you experiencing a low RPM during the pandemic time? Yes, I have 16 apps and I'm getting 60% less. Yeah, I did a video about this on Monday. For me, it's like 30 to 40% less on the RPM. The impressions are up, which is good. However, the reason I haven't been talking about it a lot because, again, this is like it's like right before all this stuff, the pandemic and everything, where isolation. Right before all that, I got suspended. I got suspended because of the coronavirus, because they suspended Spanish bubble bath for some reason. They said it was sensitive events. So I got them to. I appealed it, so they did go through and re-enable my account because it was a third strike. They re-enabled my account, but every app was removed. So I had to go through, and we're going through slowly and doing them, and then because we're setting it back to published, and it's going through the whole algorithm thing, and then the algorithm saying stuff like, oh, target audience is wrong, whatever is catching you on stuff. Oh, this one, the target audience is wrong, whatever. So it's like this slow process. Like, I don't want to get suspended again by doing them all on the same day, and that's one of the reasons why we have it. So it's difficult to know about the whole thing. So happy Friday. Hey, it's not just any Friday, it's Good Friday today. Creating an app factory during this lockdown. Fantastic. Do you mean an app factory like you're actually producing loads and loads of different apps, or actually like the factory design pattern? Appavelli. Says, hi Eric, launched my shopping app about a week ago with interstitial ads, but yesterday they suddenly disappeared. Has this happened to you? How do you know they disappeared? I mean, when you say they disappeared, are you looking at them in the application, or have your users told you they disappeared, or you see there's no impressions there? Because you shouldn't really be looking at them too much in the application on your own. But it could just be there's not enough inventory, and it could be based on the location and everything. So the real thing to check is whether or not you have the requests coming through on Admob. If the requests are going through, so you have the requests, you have the impressions. The requests are the requests for the impressions. The impressions are the impressions. And you should have more requests than you have impressions, because every time you show an ad, you should already be asynchronously loading the next ad. So you should have more requests than you have impressions, right? But that's really what it is. So like if for some reason the requests aren't there, then there's something wrong with your code. If the requests are there and it's not being fulfilled, then it's something on the Admob side. It might just be that they don't have the inventory, but go through and like really dig down into that data. Look at it country by country and figure out what country does what and all that. Because it could be, right now it's like a blanket term saying the interstitials are missing, but when you really drill down to it, you might say, okay, there's no interstitials in India or whatever. Or let's say there's no interstitials anywhere. That would be suspicious. That would be something where you think, definitely go in there. But yeah, that's the kind of stuff you should have a look at. Cole Eve says, Eric, love the content. Thanks, Cole. I am struggling to find the drive to sit down and learn Flutter and create an app because I am remote for my day job and I can't separate work from home. Do you get this? I do. So I've been working remotely for a client, and yeah, it's difficult to go from one to another And you know what? It's part of it is I think just this pandemic. Like okay, today is a holiday in the UK. It's bank holiday Friday. But because everybody's in lockdown, you can't really tell the difference. Although it's beautiful weather outside, lots of people out walking. In fact, in the UK, you would think that we're the most energetic country in the world because everybody's doing their daily exercise or either running or walking or whatever just to get out into the sunshine. Even though the government's saying, stay inside, but they're like, but as long as people are social distancing, I suppose it's probably be okay. But because I know it's a bank holiday, yeah, even though it makes no difference, I still feel like I shouldn't be working, right? And just part of it. And then when everybody else is in lockdown and all that, you're thinking, oh, just maybe I'll just watch some Netflix, which is really hard to snap out of. And it feels like almost every day I've been trying. It's been more of a struggle than it would be on a normal day during it, just because everything's going on, and it's difficult to do it. Now, I know there's a lot of like YouTubers out there and content creators who are saying, take this time in order to um, uh, in order to get ahead, right? This is the time to study and everything, and I kind of believe that a bit. Like part of me feels like I'm wasting this golden opportunity. Another part of me thinks, you know what, people are dying. People are ill. I'm not. It's I'm going to stay home. I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do. But yeah, learning is definitely something. So I mean, if you don't feel like actually doing the coding, you could do a bit of reading, like because then at least you can lay down on the couch and do it. But let's see. Hey everyone, Eric, do you promote your apps? If so, how do you do it? Ads in social networks, in search engines, blogs, etc. Does it worth it? It does. Like so for me, the I do the advertising. So for the paid applications, I do from time to time. So like if you're gonna do advertising for a paid application, then definitely make sure that your cost per acquisition is lower than your cost per or the sale cost, however you're making. So whatever, not just what the price of the app, but the price of the app minus the 30% that Google and Apple takes. So like if you have an app if you have an app for like $3 and then you do ads, I don't think you can make money from ads on an app like that. But if you were bump it up to like $7, $8, $9, $10, right, and you were able to reach those people, then it's worth putting social media ads out there. Now for free applications where you make money from ads, it never works. The only reason you'd want to, well, I mean, I've tried it off and on. Really, when I'm doing an ad campaign, and it's been a while since I've done one, is really trying to get the installs up so that I can get the rankings right, and then hopefully you just sort of like that boost, just get it in front of enough people, because once you start getting the downloads, once you start getting the reviews, you start getting better rankings, you start getting up there. But it's really hard to get noticed without any kind of that stuff to begin with. Let me know if you guys disagree or agree with that. Ravi Kumar Sharma, hey, how's it going? Hey, Eric, have you ever thought about running an online app development boot camp? No, not really. I mean, I've it's I think the only thing I do, like, so I would do development, but then I'll do consultancy. Like if somebody wants to, so we have the consultancy link on our site, which I don't promote really at all. So like if somebody says that they have an app idea or they want to discuss how they should do it, a lot of times I'll do that. But so book an hour on Zoom and then we record it and send it to them just to go through stuff. But that's really what I do. I've never been one into boot camps and that kind of stuff, just because I don't know. It's just not me. I mean, it's even doing a course. Every so often, I come back to doing a course, and then I think, you know what? I don't like. I don't want to get into the. I don't want to get to the point where I'm like, okay, I'll tell you guys the good stuff in the course, but like on the channel, I'm not gonna. Oh no, I'm just gonna talk about that there. It's better just to talk about whatever. But yeah, maybe. I think about a lot of things in terms of monetization. What the so so okay. One of the things I need to get off my big fat butt and do is do some of the sponsorships on the channel, right? I think it's and some so I get approached by companies. They say, if you do a video for us, we'll be like 500 pounds, whatever. And I'm like, well, I don't want to do a video for you guys because I don't want to get it'd be like I don't want to get approval based on what I talk about, but it would be maybe it'd be something like, this video is brought to you by whatever, Squarespace, whatever, like the ones you always see, and then a little spiel about how great they are, and then move on to the rest of the content. So that's something I'd like to do, and but really, I'm still I'm still in the app game. I'm still trying to get those apps up and running. So, you know, I'm really, it's the I really don't want to get into the I'm gonna sell you on the dream of becoming an app millionaire when I haven't been able to do it myself. Right? That's the one thing I don't want to do that. You know, the like the lifestyle type of thing, saying, you know, hey, you know, if one of the things I think is crazy about this pandemic is how many of the digital marketers and whatever are telling you how to survive this crisis as if they've ever seen anything like this before, right? Everybody's an expert on this thing, and you're like, here's how to, you know, here's how to survive the crisis, here's how to survive the pandemic, and you're like, dude, you know what, you know, if the government seems kind of uneasy about it, you should too. But and that's one of the things about boot camps and that kind of stuff, I think, is like, is the certainty that, you know, oh, go with me, you know, go to my boot camp and you'll guarantee you success, because you can, right? You just but I'm just doing that. Sunken cost fallacy. Sunk. You all right? Is this about the sunken cost? It was about the application. So Rodrigo, thanks, Eric. Now now we have you and green screen background to have some fun with. Yeah, I know. There's like other ones here too. There's let's change it. Let's do that one. Oh no, don't. You didn't see anything. I'm really in this blurry thing. So let's do. These are the ones that are native in the thing. So let's go with. All right. So for those of you guys who don't know Max Headroom, right? um, uh, Max Headroom was a computerized epileptic, whatever. And so he was like a computerized thing in the 80s. One of my favorite shows, right? Never see it in reruns. Never see it again. Edison Carter coming to you live and direct from Network 23. Oh man, I missed that. You guys with your Breaking Bad and your cool shows now. No, you missed the good shows back in the day. Let's blur that. So yeah, thanks, Rodrigo. Gregor, hey Eric, hey Gregor, how's it going? Finally, I can watch this live after a few weeks. Great job with the live stream setup. Hey, thank you very much. I'm sitting in my bedroom, right? It's you know, having the blank wall behind me was getting a bit embarrassing. So because I just moved into the flat 6 weeks ago, and like 6 weeks ago, right before everything went crazy. Like, yeah, in fact, you know what's funny is I was like, all the real estate agents were trying to give me like a house. They were trying to give me a house with a yard, and I was like, I don't want grass. I don't want a garden. I just want to, you know, yeah, I don't want to have to go out and mow that thing. I want the proper bachelor pad. I want someplace where I don't have to do that. Little did I know I'd never be able to go outside again. So and I see all these people like getting, you know, all this in the nice sunshine. I'm like, oh, you know, it would have been pretty nice to have a garden. But yeah, I'm just filming in my bedroom, because, and normally I would film in the living room and everything, but because, you know, I've got, you know, my son over, it's kind of thing. So Edward Carreno says, I am a YouTuber also for making money online. You inspire me to buy apps and make money from them. Cool. I do rank for ASO, but what's the best paid ad service you use if you do paid apps? So for me, if you're going for just like installs, like if you're going for the ranking, I would go with AdSense or Admob or AdSense or whatever, and go for low cost per click, right? If you have like a targeted niche, like you know specifically who they are, and you can make money with it, then I would go with Facebook ads, because you can just target so much better on that. And I've never done, actually, no, I have done YouTube ads as part of the Universal App Campaign for my apps, but I don't think they ever really took off. But it was like just my promo apps, you know, screenshots and stuff. So I haven't had a lot of success with YouTube ads on that. Fawad Bimood says, hi Eric. Do you have any idea about implementing single selection in different selections? Section recycler view. Oh, a technical. I think you're the first one who's ever asked me a technical question. Recycler view. Is it so? Is this an Android native? I don't know. I wish I could tell you the answer to this one. But implementing a single selection in different sections. No, Um, I'm afraid I can't. But although we have a lot of really good developers on this stream, who I'm sure would be happy to answer that for you. Yeah, this is like when you get into the technical questions. You know, a lot of times it's just going through and I'm doing this myself this week with Xamarin, going through and googling things, and then trying things. Right? It's just like, you know, and you, there's nobody to ask, so you're trying. You know, what's the best search term to do, and but no, I wish I knew the answer, but I don't. Oh, by the way, if you haven't smashed that like button, smash the like button. Let's see, what else we have here? Rodian says, "Hey Eric, how are you doing? What do you think you should do to get more audience? Maybe a few tutorials. During this lockdown, more views would definitely help you, I guess." Yeah, I know. I do think I need to, because we've been like, so it seems like we've been below 30,000 subscribers like for ages, right? It's been like just like inching forward, and I think I need to do yeah, I think tutorial. The thing about tutorials is there's so many really good tutorials out there. You know who does it? RezoCoder does really good tutorials. Like it's a whole different way of thinking, right? It's and for me, when I started doing this channel, was more about, you know, not and also I'd have to like niche down. So what do I do a tutorial on? Do I do it on Flutter? Do I do it on Android native? Do I do it on iOS? Do I do it on whatever? And then once you do it, I'm sure there's going to be. I mean, I think it's for all the years of working with other developers where they, you know, sometimes you have developers that like you look at each other's code and you're fine with it, and other times people get really ego and whatever. And I could just see, last thing I need is comments where they go, no, you should have used a singleton there, or you know, your variable naming should have been different, whatever, like, or whatever. So I, you know, that's one of the reasons why I don't do that. And also, it just doesn't excite me at all. It doesn't make, you know, there's not very much opinion you can put into it, right? Um, and you know, when I do try to do tutorials, I try to do something like more formal, like, okay, today we're going to talk about this, whatever. And then the camera will mess up halfway through, something will happen, and I'll have to start over again, start a new project. And to me, it's just not fun. Um, but yeah, I mean, maybe if I did do more tutorials, it'd be better. But I'm more interested in the things you can't find much documentation on, like publishing to the App Store, which is what I've done one on that, and it hasn't changed much since. Or publishing the Google Play, or how do you adjust your keywords in Google Play? You know, let's go through the Google Play console, you know, screen by screen. It says what everything does. That kind of stuff interests me because the books don't cover that. But there's so many ways to get actually onto the App Store, so many different languages, so many different platforms. But I don't. What do you guys think? I mean, I just think there's so many much better people out there doing tutorials, you know, than I could do. I believe nope, just creating new apps and updating existing apps. No design patterns. Oh yeah, your App Factory. Yeah, I've got kind of a similar thing where I have all of my bubble bath games, which are you know, I'm thinking about going through and doing those. You got to be careful on the Apple side because they're a bit funny about too many apps. I'm gonna cough a little bit here. I don't have the virus, right? I think I'm just getting a little bit of a scratchy throat again. I haven't even been in contact with anybody. Matthew, hey Matthew, how's it going? I am Potionware. Oh, you're Potionware. My new app is called Scarlet News. Oh, should we have a look at it? Let me know if you want. Let's have a look. We'll have a look at Potionware's app, Scarlet News. I assume we are looking at. Okay, all right. So here's the thing. When I go to the other view here, you might not see. Let's go. Play Store. Let's go to. Okay, so Potionware Scarlet News. Is that how you spell Scarlet? Is there two T's? I don't know. Potion. All right, here we go. Scarlet. Oh, what? This looks like the hills. Was it Children of the Corn? Whatever. Let's see. All right, Matthew. Let's have a look. I mean, I think the screenshots are very similar. I mean, I'm just gonna give you my opinion on this. Just give that my opinion. And the rest of you guys, feel free to put in your opinion. Actually, let's watch the video here. Oh, one of the things about this software Ecamm Live is it does cover up everything. Is there no sound on this? Is she reading the news? Oh, here we go. Oh, I see. Okay, cool. What the rest of you guys think? I don't want to say. I don't want to say, but she looks freaky. Potion wearer. Is it is it she just reading the news? Should give her a bit of a smile if you can. That's just my opinion. I think let me know how it goes. Actually, let's go back to that. I am not. Let's have a look at that again. I want to have a look at the stats. So it was released 1st of April version 0.6. I mean, so we don't have. Do we have any downloads yet or any reviews? So let's go back. Is that, sorry, Matthew, am I looking at the wrong one? Let's see, all right, can you guys see me again? Let's see, how do I get back to this guy? Let's see. There we go. All right, so, ooh, thanks for hitting us. Let's see. Thanks for hitting the like button, everybody who liked. Where were we? Oh pilot says, "Hi Eric. Does Admob Google account email need to be the same as the email for the Google developer account?" I think it does. I'm not sure. It is for me. I think it actually. I don't know because you're in. It does because you have the same account linked to both, right? I would imagine if you had two different accounts, because I think you may be able to have if you were to have ads hosted in like another app of another account, I think you're allowed to do that. But so like if I was to release one of my client apps and put ads in it or something, which I'd never do or would ever do, but I think that is possible to do. I don't think that's against the terms and conditions. I could be wrong. However, like it just switching between the accounts when you look at going from Admob to Google Play Developer Council would just be a pain. Madrandir says, "Hey, Madrandir says, hi Eric. I've heard the news cross-platform. Have you heard of the new cross-platform Uno platform? His website is platform.uno. It is like Flutter. Don't know how it is. I'm learning Flutter. Just made an app with Flutter. Fantastic. No, I've never heard of platform.com. Platform.uno. Should we have a look at it? I'm going off on tangents. I know. I apologize when you guys ask me questions and I answer it like half an hour later because I've been talking about whatever my green screen. Mess around my green. Hey, want to see what else my green screen can do? All right. I'm sorry. The wall looks blurry. Should I change the? All right. Let's take a poll. Who wants me to get rid of the green screen? You want or make it less blurry? I mean, I'll make it less. I'll do the blur background. Again, I feel like I'm doing stand up. Let's see. Okay. Joshi says, "Hi Eric. How can I create multiple accounts without connecting them?" Talking about multiple. What kind of account? Like Google Play accounts? Again, I don't know how to do it because I would imagine you'd have to set up a different email address for each one or a different Gmail address. And I know people have probably done it, but I don't like. I don't know how easy it is to do. So for me, it's just easy being able to go into Chrome and having access to everything and not have to worry about what I'm logged in as, or I have a few different accounts where I do have to log out of my Gmail and go into somebody else's Gmail, like, and it's just a pain. Like, and then I never check it, right? So for me, I mean, the only reason I could think, the reason I would think that you'd want to do that is so that you're not putting all your eggs in one basket. If you get one suspended, you don't have to, worry about the other ones. But so far, I haven't. I haven't had any trouble with suspensions. I have, but they've undone it. So feeling better. You should do more consulting because you have lots of knowledge and experience. Yeah, I mean, I do some consulting. I think it's fun to do. I think that's something I'm probably going to focus on more in the future. Is just if somebody wants it. I mean, one of the things a lot of people will ask for my time, and it's difficult because there's so much to do that do that. Miranda, your sound is low. Sorry about that. Let me I think my mic. I think I just need a new microphone. This microphone sucks. Maybe I should speak louder. You know what? I'll speak louder like a man. Start talking like a boy my whole life. What? Sorry, Cord folks know about the green screen. Oh no, you don't like the green screen. Yes, I built this big, beautiful wall and made my client pay for it. My client pays for everything, actually, or clients, whatever. I own my apps, I suppose. Uh, about promoting free apps, how much do you usually spend, and what limit in total, not per install, gets installs to get higher rank? How to do it? Gradually, 1 to 2 months, or as fast as possible? As fast as possible. Right? For me, if I put an ad out there, like if I'm doing it for a free application, I do it as quick as possible and just try to get those ranks up. So if something's trending, then it's going to be pushed higher to the higher up the algorithm. Uh, so hey Eric, hey Fist 007, everyone. The coronavirus is doing a lot of harm in the UK. It seems to be they're doing a lot of harm everywhere. And I was in this time. It's so strange things that are going on that you wonder, like during World War II, you would see you see movies from that were during the World War II era, and life went on, right? There was a war going on, and it affected life all over, but life went on, and it was just no people weren't walking around panicking all the time, and I think that's kind of what it is now. Life goes on, and you're just kind of like thinking, oh man, I haven't seen hand sanitizer in 3 weeks. Today, this is a top of a conversation. Like I came home from the grocery store this morning and told my son I saw toilet paper on the shelf and we didn't need any. Isn't that fantastic, right? This is like this kind of inane conversation is actually the kind of stuff we're talking about. My client's paid for it. Let's see. I hope everything's okay for you. It is. Okay. Oh, I wanted to thank you for the efficiency with which you manage a live stream. I watched Stefan Mischuk's lives a couple of days ago, and it was a mess. Really? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Steve, he's got like loads of subscribers. I'm jealous of all other YouTubers. A Recycler View, Android native. Yeah, I'm not. I don't think I've viewed Recycler View. It's not a Corona cough. Like, thanks. Yeah, make sure you flash the like button. Make sure you smash the like button. Thanks, guys. Flashy says, "Hi, Eric. Good to see you. Good to see you too." I mean, I imagine seeing you. I imagine I'm looking into your eyes, Flashy. Have you ever done an app that was also supposed to be based on PC? How did you go about it? Two separate projects with common backend, or one big application? I've done one for Mac, and that was using Corona as one big application, so not using different front ends for it. So there's lots of ways. I mean, there's lots of ways you could do it. I've never done an Electron app, right? But I've always wanted to, because especially going from Ionic to Electron seemed like it would be kind of an easy thing to do. Corona could go to Windows platform, I think, but I think when it got to it, I just hadn't explored it, but I was making quite a bit of money from the Mac App Store. So taking a Corona SDK application and releasing it to Mac users, it was like a whole untapped market, and I was able to charge more for it. but I don't think they supported in-app purchases and stuff like. There were certain things I had to change, so I didn't have ads in it. It was just a paid application, and that seemed to work pretty well. But I've never done one for the Windows platform, probably because I have a Mac. Because I have a Mac now, and it was just laziness. It was just like launching up another, either launching a virtual machine, which slows everything down, or getting another computer, which I have, but um, but no. Eric does have a high level business kind of tutorials. Oh, thanks, Fist007. Every single day. Well, not every single day. This year, I thought, remember at the beginning of the year, I was like, I want to be active, Eric. I want to do more, and then I started doing videos 5 days a week, and then now it's like, yeah, try to get it. So last week I did 4. Last week I did 4 videos. This week I did 2, but try to get them out. Are you hiring devs by any chance? I'm always hiring devs, but not like on a permanent basis. Usually it's like freelance or for specific projects. But yeah, it's so. Yeah, I work with a lot of teams overseas. Every so often, I'll well, if I get a new project in, I'll think, okay, do I want to go with? So you could do like 3 different things. I was gonna do a video about this topic too, but try to act surprised if I ever do. I was gonna do it like there's 3 ways you could go. Like when you're hiring a developer, you could either, or actually 4 ways. You could code it yourself. You could go with an outsourced company, so a company, and then they'll provide the developers. They usually have a hype man, so that you never. A lot of times you're not able to talk to the developer yourself. Although I insist on it, they're like, "Oh, he's the best Java developer there is. He's perfect." And you talk to him, and he's like, "Dude, man, how do you even cope like as a human being, let alone as a software developer? You're so weird." And then, or you can go with a freelancer. And the problem with the companies is that they're more expensive because you're paying for their infrastructure and their building, and and really you just want that developer. If you go with a freelancer, a lot of times they could just disappear or lose interest or whatever, and you're like, then you're kind of screwed. Um, or you can hire somebody in house to do it, and then or hire a local developer, and that's more expensive too. Especially if you don't know a good developer from a bad developer, and sometimes you don't know a good developer from a bad developer until after you hire them, unfortunately, because they interview so well. So, but yeah, so yeah, I don't know if that answers your question. I don't think it. I think I answered your question and I went off on a tangent, as I do. HB Gamer 12. Hey, how's it going? See, let's see. Seriously, how many installs does the average app need to make $8 an hour? It's not the installs. Matthew. It's the installs. You don't make anything from the installs. You make it from either the ad impressions. So like an ad that shows an app that only has one ad placement and one impression is going to make less than one that has lots of apps and a lot of ad placements and a lot of impressions. Of course, they're going to have a lot more pissed off users because they're like, because the app is just adware. Or with in-app purchases, right? It's when you're talking about a metric of downloads or of installs versus revenue, and it's something completely different, right? Even with me, I was getting at one point 3,000 or 4,000 installs a day, but I was only making pennies from each one, and that was because of the ad impressions. And when I moved the interstitial ad from from 1 minute into the application experience to the beginning of the application experience, so they hit it first thing through, my revenue skyrocketed, and then I got temporarily removed from Admob because you're not supposed to do that. Like you need, so I moved it to a transition, and it was like constantly just adjusting it that way and trying to do it. It's like a television show. If you had a television show, it's about the eyeballs on the ads or the number of ads that you actually show. So how many, not the installs, but how many impressions that you're having if you're going through that way. The knowledge mixture. Oh my goodness, you guys ready for some questions? Knowledge mixture. Let's ask lots of questions. Whew. All right, ready? All right. Let me just loosen up a little bit. Me. All right. Hey, boy. Hey, man. Say, hey, man. I'm a man. Hey, man. I'm having many things to ask. See, I told you. Let's start. First question. Array list.get position method not returning me first index 0. Well, because position's a variable. How can I get the first index using the get method? Why is it not returning 0? I don't know, but you're asking me a technical question, and that should be. I mean, I should be able to get it. This double says that how's the Xamarin project doing? It's doing pretty well. I'm trying to because I'm doing it in Xamarin Forms. I'm trying to keep everything in the Forms project itself and not do so much native stuff. But eventually, but every so often, I have to dip into the iOS and the Android native projects, and which is fine. But I kind of wish I could just plug into. Well, I mean, you can have SDKs, native SDKs in Xamarin, but you have to do this wrapper thing, and I haven't got my head around that part yet. So like I want to have these. So I've been like every so often I've been cheating a little bit and going into WebView just because I don't want to because there's an SDK for like some other product and I can't and they don't have a Xamarin plugin for it. So you could do all that creating the wrapper for it and everything. But when I start reading through it, the documentation on it is like. But other than that, it's going really well. Thanks for asking. Frutilla Studio, nice name, says, hi Eric, please I want to ask you about apps when getting higher install and ranking. Spend the specific time and apps became down. Hang on, let me say. Hi Eric, please I want to ask about apps when getting higher install and ranking. The spend specific time and apps became down and down. I want to know the best step to make app higher. Frutilla Studio, I'm not quite sure I understand. So the best, I think this would be the kind of thing where I would like to know what you've tried so far is probably what I would like to do. Just as, because it's really difficult to answer the best step. Because have you tried ads? What is the application itself? That kind of stuff. So let me turn off this, sorry, just a moment. I think I have this where it does manual focus and it's kind of oh no, we're okay. We're good. All right. Okay. So, but yeah, let's do that. Did you have a haircut, Eric? No, I have not had a haircut. In fact, there's one of the things I think I want to do some promo videos, and we're gonna get to the stage pretty soon where we're all gonna look like cavemen. So I've noticed a lot of people online have been giving themselves buzz cuts, but I haven't done anything like that. No, you're just gonna start getting a bit grayer and a bit shaggier, but no. Lately, in my later years, I'm starting to get more of a military haircut than I did when I was in the military. So I go in there, and mainly because I'm just cheap and I like value. Second question: if I have a lot of comments in my code just for understanding, so will it affect the size of the whole application? No, when it compiles, that shouldn't be taken into consideration. In fact, the more it's good to have those comments in the code. You're gonna appreciate the fact that you did later. If you have like a non-compiled language like JavaScript, it could affect it. But even then, when you go through it it's not uglify. What is it? When you minimize these JavaScript files, it does remove the comments, so you still have them in your source code. Oh, the video is supposed to does it have sound? Sorry, Matthew, when I did that one, did it have sound? Yo, Ruli, yo, Sophia. Sophia, are you the how are you? Yo, Ruli, what's up? What's up, Sophia? I'm good. Thanks for asking. Hope you and yours are keeping well and safe. Yeah, we're doing well. How are you coping with house arrest? I know it's like, I never wanted to go out, like as a software, but I never wanted to go outside more in my life. I mean, I did go for a walk earlier today, but this is the thing. You go out for a walk, you can't stop. You're just like, oh, it looks like I'm walking. I don't want the police to stop me. Busy learning Xamarin? Yes. No experience, but I've heard the apps get pretty bloated. Pray tell. See, okay, this is one of the things. All right, maybe Fist 007 can help us with this one because this is one of the things. I compiled the application, and it's about 40 megabytes. So there's a lot of stuff that Xamarin's putting in there. and I'm a bit that was something that I'm a little bit concerned about. That was 40 megabytes for an iOS application, and it's there's not a whole lot in the app in terms of image assets or anything like that. So, but yeah, that's uh, I'm a bit concerned about that. The app has sound, the video does not. Yeah, put some video in the sound. Put some sound in the video. Um, let's see. Let's see. Flutter is better, but it too still bundles some of the common libraries in the apps. But the single code base might be might be worth it. Cool. Thanks, Sophia. Yeah, I did try to convince the client to go with Flutter to begin with, but it was like they're a .NET shop, and one of the nice things about doing the app for them in Xamarin is that their developers understand what it is. Because this is like basically the client. I did the app for them, and we did it in Ionic, and I now was the one doing a lot of the coding towards the later bits because it was just like small updates, and it was all because even though they're software developers and they're really smart, and I think it's because it was something different. They thought it was like really complicated, the application side of things. But once I put it into Xamarin, they understand it. They're like, oh, it's like you just you know. So I've kind of lost the magic there. Yes, Admob email can be different. Okay, cool. Well, there we go. Bart Raka, hey Bart, hello everyone. Happy Friday, happy Good Friday. I'm not religious, but I know that it's a Good Friday day for those of you who are. Great video about Admob revenue getting killed this month with 40 to 50% drop. Ouch! Wow. Well, thanks for letting me know, Bart. It was, yeah, I wasn't quite sure to do. I mean, I was, you know, this kind of thing that a lot of people have been asking me about, but let's see. Remove the. Okay, we're gonna remove the green screen. We finally got somebody saying remove the green screen, so we'll do that. I can't actually remove the green screen. We're just gonna do it in front of the green screen. You guys can add whatever thing you want. We'll remove it. If you guys want me to put the green screen back, we can do that. But now it just feels kind of stupid. But no, it's just the color I like, man. That's not. No, I wasn't even trying to do green screen. I'm just like, yeah, I just really like green. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, where'd I go? Where'd I go? Sorry. Let's see. Knowledge Breach says, third question. I have uploaded an application on Play Store, but it's not showing when I search it. I have uploaded on 26 March 2020, and now it has 1,000 plus downloads though, but not showing why. I don't know. How are people finding it? Yeah, we can have a look at it if you want, but yeah, that does seem like it should be ranking by now. Even if you search on the title. Radian, hey Eric, hello Eric. Another question. All right, why does Google want us to connect apps to Firebase for statistics, even though we don't make use of it in the app? They could have added the same functionality to Admob. Yeah, I think of that too. In fact, I mean Okay, so here's something. Yeah, with Admob, having the Firebase in there, that's a really good question. I can imagine that having them separate products means if I just wanted to have analytics in my application or push notifications but not ads, then yeah, of course I would put it into Firebase. Didn't they try to put Admob into Firebase there for a while? Firebase ads, is that still a thing? So they so yeah, I suppose it's two different things, but I mean having Firebase with Admob means that at least that way you can track the installs. So if, however people find it. So if somebody clicks on an ad someplace, and then they go through and then whether or not they've actually going to the page, you would know, but whether or not they actually do the install, and then you can track other stuff too, like do they actually register and stuff. You log out of your Gmail account. I use incognito tab for other accounts. Actually, no. What I do is I use Safari. Safari's like. I use Safari for accounts that I don't want to log out of other stuff. It's like, or if I'm doing iOS Ionic development. Incognito. Una platform written with C#. It buys build single code base. It says build single code base for WebAssembly, iOS, Android, and Windows. I might have a look at that. It's open source. Cool. All right, sounds okay. Please, I want to know the way to my app support all devices or majority devices. Uh, yeah, it depends on how you code it. It really does. It really depends. So if you, the more the simpler your app is. So like if you're using a platform, let's say like something like Xamarin or Flutter or Ionic or React Native or one of the other many cross-platform frameworks, you can support other devices. So you can do, and most of the time it's just iOS and Android, which is really all all you really care about, unless you're going to do something like a desktop, like a Windows application and a Mac application, and there's other things there too. So there's that, and then also the more specific you get with a code, the higher you go up in terms of the functionality. So like, right now there's what's it? The target SDK needs to be 28, which is Android O. I mean, you can support other lower applications, but it needs to be the target SDK. So that's kind of a but so the more you add into that, then you got people with older phones who aren't going to be able to use it. So like the lower you can keep the functionality, then the more you can actually make it available to those. You guys okay with this green screen behind me? Let's see. I know by the time I get down to you guys, so see. Sophia says this real-world virus is wreaking more havoc on software business than computer viruses ever did. The irony. Clients are deferring projects and even pulling out completely. Yeah, I'm finding that. The client work has been like, there's tumbleweeds going past my website. Although the video I did today talked about, like, for some reason people are searching for Corona app. Like, obviously, Corona SDK is taken off, or some other reason that I'm not aware of. Nick W. Hey, hello from China, Eric. Ni hao. Ni sai zhongguo. Thanks for making the live stream earlier this time. It's the same time, but I think we do. I finally have a chance to talk to you. Nick, 你是中国人吗？你是中国人？我们可以谈一谈开发软件。See, but see, thanks for sharing your experience. I really do really appreciate it. No problem. I'm missing you while eating biryani. I'm gonna say who's biryani. That's rude. All right, let's see. Where did I go? Sorry, I lost my place. Okay. Blastis says, have you tried Facebook Game or Instant Game? If yes, how's the income compared to standalone Android iOS app game? I've never tried it. I was interested in it, but at the time I was looking into it, I think I was looking into Phaser, and I wasn't sure how the monetization worked. And I think they do have monetization in it now, but I've never tried it. Has anybody else? I wish I could say yes, I have. I wish I could say I've tried everything, but I haven't. Have you done it, Blas? Do you have coding standards document that you make newly hired devs abide by? Normally, yes. I don't have any for Flutter, and usually what I'll do is I'll just go find some published document. For me, it's not so much do things the way I like it, although kind of, but it's more like I want everything to be consistent. So like when a developer leaves, a new developer should be able to take it up. But I don't have any for Flutter and the Xamarin stuff. I like the only one doing Xamarin projects, so. And that's I don't have any code standards for that one, but it's always a good practice, especially if you have more than one developer, right? And again, you don't have to be like a jerk about it, saying, "Oh, well, the variable wasn't," but just so everybody's kind of doing it the same way. Because if you ever going to a job and you're like as a new developer, you're gonna be like, it's not so much that you just don't know how things go. So I do a lot of like looking at I wanted, like, when I took on this new contract, so I want to take a look at some existing projects just so I can make sure I'm kind of consistent, because they didn't have any documents on that. Fourth question. All right. Okay, guys, ready? Fourth question. Which is the best library to receive data from the server? Android networking, Volley, retrofit, any other? We're talking various Android native specific questions here, right? I would just think it would just be I mean, those all sound. It would just be HTTP, right? Smash the other dislike button. That was done. There's always somebody who does a dislike button. I don't know who it is. Maybe it was an ex girlfriend from high school. I don't know. Maybe it was you know, maybe it was one of my maybe it was my arch nemesis who I've yet to meet. Who will like maybe it was like who runs Underpass and his name is Derek. Actually, no. There was that those developers did Overdrive. They did the Ear Spy. They did an Ear Spy clone and a copycat, and they called their company Overdrive Apps. It's like, God, it was like, um, tell me about unsupported language issues. I received an email about unsupported language from Google. What is the language? Unsupported language? I've never gotten any. Mohammed, I've never had any kind of emails like that ever. Has anybody else? Leo says happy Easter weekend. Hey, happy Easter. Any Easter eggs in your apps? No. In fact, even when we have Christmas coming up, I never think in advance enough to come up with a Christmas version of an app. But no, I don't have any in my apps. Actually, no, that's not true. I do have like in some of the apps that we put out, I will have like a hidden form or something. You tap on something like 10 times, but it's mainly just for me, just sort of like, uh, and I usually try to remove it before we go live. But like I always put something in there, so like you have like a debug window in there, so you just see, what's going on. Maybe if you write to like a local log or something like that, or a lot of times it'd be like I set my permission levels to something else so that I could go through and check something rather than have to go log out into something else. But it's not usually meant for other people, and it's not fun. Which language, which framework, which library for your collections? Yeah, that would be about that one. Yo, Eric, any tips on getting into the flow again? A week since I opened an IDE. A week. It's difficult. You know, the hard bit is, so if you've ever read, sorry, I was gonna grab the book, but it's in my bathroom. Right? It's my sitting on the toilet book. It's which is not, it's a really good book, but it's called The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield, and he talks about the resistance. A lot of times it's not just getting it, it's just starting it, right? Or like just a lot of times even just like it's like going to the gym, right? So the hard bit isn't going to the gym and working out. The hard bit is getting your shoes on and getting dressed, getting your shoes on, and getting out of the house. So although I don't go to the gym anymore because it's virus infested, whatever. So um, by the way, are you eligible for any? Sophia says, by the way, you eligible for any government subsidies during this crisis, loss of business and all? I don't know. I did apply for one, but I don't know if I'll get it or not. So I'm trying to. I don't want to resort to anything like that if I don't have to. But we're gonna end up all paying for it anyway. So luckily, I mean, I was able to take on a contract right before, right before everything went really crazy. My whole thing is I want to be able to keep my team, keep the projects going, make sure everything's going smoothly as we go. So Colt says, "Hey Eric, what has been the hardest thing for you to learn when programming? I am dealing with web endpoints right now at work, and it's been difficult. All the models, views, and controllers." Yeah, you know what? For me, and this is ages ago. This is gonna sound stupid because like this is gonna sound a bit. Yeah, this might sound a bit embarrassing. Object-oriented programming was difficult for me to begin with. So I was a VB developer, and doing VB was a lot like well, it was like doing JavaScript or whatever. You don't really necessarily have to think about objects, like creating an object or instantiating an object. You don't have to think about dependency injection or uh, uh, what's the term? Polymorphism. You don't have to think about any of that kind of stuff. And but I would go to these courses, and they would talk about like object-oriented programming in Visual Basic, but they would always be very vague about it. They say, so this would be the person class, and there could be an employee class and a manager class, and they both inherit from the person class, or not. They say person object, right? And I was like, is that a module? Is that a class? And they go, it could be anything, all right? And they'd always talk about the car. They said, imagine they would like go so much into theory that I just want somebody to show me how it works, right? And it seems like even like the instructor, and I started to think they were making it up. It was like so stupid, right? So they're talking about how, so basically you should design your code as objects. So like think of a car. A car has properties. It has the number of doors, and it has methods like drive, stop, whatever, and it also has whatever, and then you say, okay, so what does that look like in code? Like I'll say, so is that a class? And then we got, well, it could be a class. It could be anything. Imagine a car, right? And it would go, and then it would keep going into that. And it wasn't until I actually saw another developer, like I went to, and this was in ASP, classic ASP in VB script, where I saw somebody do a VB script object oriented, and it finally snapped, right? You can't like, and it's funny to talk about it now because you can't do game development if you can't do object oriented programming, right? You create a player object, or you create an enemy object, or you create a whatever, and like if you do everything in code, in spaghetti code, and don't have objects, then you're just like it would get unmanageable after a while. But you have like a nice encapsulated object of an enemy, right? So every frame through, you call, you have your collection of enemies, and you call each enemy, call their whatever their render option, and it could be like, and you specify the velocity and the velocity, the direction, the whatever, and then and you could have enemies that would go after your character, or they could go like up and down, or they could do whatever, or they when they're off the screen, they just you clear that object up, and that was something, that's a good example of where object oriented, like now I can imagine not knowing it, but for some reason it was hard to get my head around that back in the olden days, back in the early 2000s when I was trying to learn how to do it. Other things are MVVM was difficult for me for some reason. I just couldn't, model view model, a model view controller, I thought I had a bit of issues with, and sometimes even now, what do I have some troubles with? Oh yeah, like I said, this whole the Xamarin thing, being able to create wrapper classes around SDKs, so I could call those SDKs, that seems to be like really overly complicated process. I mean, everything's overly complicated until you figure out how to do it. Really, you're thinking, this can't be right. This can't be right the way this works. But yeah, there's a lot of those things. By the way, if you guys haven't smashed the like button, smash the like button. You guys okay with this? My green wall, which is there for no real reason at all. Let's see. Let me go back to. Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry. I know I'm way behind on these questions. Fifth question. All right, this is gonna be the last question. Are you still getting? Are you still using Admob to get revenue from Android apps? Yes. Or any other platform? I'm still using Admob. I've been hearing a lot about Facebook. Suggest me about it. Because I heard Admob is really sensitive and disable accounts for no reason. Yeah, that's true. That's true, but they pay more. Uh, Nice one for the military haircut joke. Minify the JS. Yeah, Minify. What did I say? I said uglify. God, yeah. You guys gonna see me for the fraud that I am. I don't even know the word minify. The debug only. Debug only. So the release will be smaller for the. Okay. Oh, so Fist 007 says Xamarin, the release will be smaller than the actual build. Okay, cool. Sophia says, I just realized you gave up your office in just the right time. Dude, I realize that every day. Kudos. How are you getting into the new place? Surely more time to break it in. Yeah, you know what, Sophia? So my new place, I've been doing I haven't really been going out because nobody's been going out. It's been I really do enjoy the new place. It's nice to have the space and everything. Although it's a bit crowded and everything, trying to fit everything into it, everything from the office and everything that I moved in. But no, it's doing really well. Yeah, and that was pretty lucky that that I gave up the office at the right time and everything like that. In terms of yeah, it's I'm settling into the new place. It's you know it'd be nice to go out and meet people in the new town and all that stuff at some point. Though I did a bit. I mean, I did go out a few times, but I'm looking forward to getting outside, doing some stuff. I want to go clubbing, right? Does anybody want to come to Oxford to go clubbing with me, or London? We'll go to London. That'd be cool. I've always wanted to do that, like proper, like go out and just like because I never really did that in my life. So Muhammad always says, yesterday my flashlight app got 7,000 downloads. Wow. After daylight savings too. Normally it has around 500 downloads. I'm using Google Ads campaign. Fantastic. How it got 7,000 in one day? I have checked all downloads were from Google Play. Fantastic. Nicely done. Congratulations. Also, my Admob got restricted. The message was, we are checking your traffic. Yeah, it looks suspicious to them. But, fine. If you can keep those numbers up, and when they do re-enable it. I don't know if you guys got the email from Admob this week saying that they're all working from home, so they might be a bit slower with their support. Any idea about Apodil? NWA Saba, I use Apodil for 5 days, and it was that was 3-4 years ago, so I haven't used it since then. Put the wall back. All right, we're gonna put the wall back, right? Because it's just... all right. Here we go. Look at this. I should have got some better backgrounds before we started the live stream. See, Stephen Muschuk would have got the right backgrounds. What do you have? Let's see. 6th question. All right. Okay. Every time Knowledge Mixture asks a question, take a drink. 6th question. I created an app that have the function similar to other apps on Play Store. So if I publish it in Play Store, are you in danger? I don't think you're in danger, right? I think it's I think the repetitive content policy is mainly to cover, like, there's too many certain types of apps. And if it's unique, lots of apps are similar to each other. Look at dating apps, right? There's not one dating app. Not that I've been looking at those a lot lately, stuck in this place. So there's not like one dating app. There's not one car lift app. There's not one. There's lots of them, and they can't expect you to go through and create something that's totally unique each and every single time. Then we'd only have a dozen apps on the Play Store. So I think you'd be okay. But I would try to get a version out as soon as possible. Don't make it perfect. Get it out there just to check it, to be on the safe side. I'll replace the video with non-muted one by next week. All right, it's okay. Cool. All right, I'll be checking on you. All right, make sure you get it done. Thanks, Poisonware. So yeah, remember when it used to be a blue screen? I do remember that. I remember going to when I was a kid, get my parents to take me to NBC Studios to see where the Tonight Show was being taped, and they had the blue screen where the weatherman used. Yeah, but I miss the videos when you used to walk outside. Me too. You know what I miss? Walking outside. But we'll do that soon. Yeah, I want to get out and feel. Now I feel like I can't do it. It's like all those wasted nice days of the past that I thought I'll just do it from the office today. Eric, suppose you were to build a Windows desktop app, would you be using WinForms /WPF or Electron? I think WinForms WPF would be more efficient, but Electron would be you wouldn't be restricted to just Windows desktop. So if I were to do one, like if it was only Windows desktop, then I would probably do it in WPF. But that's it. It's difficult when when I did my first app, I only wanted to do Android because I thought, well, I don't like iOS, right? But it was doing well, so yeah, we're gonna do it in iOS. So you never know what you're gonna want to do later. There's a daily quiz from Amazon app. So if I create an app that is providing answers of that quiz questions that I publish on Play Store, so am I in effect harm? I don't know. I would check the terms and conditions of the Amazon one. That sounds a little too close to infringement on what they're doing. I read a joke about the coronavirus. A dude said, I trust Bill Gates for this situation. He's been dealing with viruses since Windows 95. I think I heard that one too. You should put up a busy outdoor market scene in your background and wear a mask for this video. That would get me some views, wouldn't it? That's it. I think every video I should. I've seen a lot of people doing masks on their thumbnails, and it's just you know, nice clickbaity thing. But yeah, you're right, Leo. Let's do it. Maybe like yeah, you guys will all get in on it, right? We'll just completely create some clickbait type stuff. And I named my application Amazon Quiz Helper on Play Store. Yeah, I think it. So will it affect me or am I in danger? I think that's the kind of thing where Amazon could get you removed. Um, but I think it's just too close. It might not be that Amazon removes it, but they could. Syed Umair says, I made my first test app. It's about COVID-19, but rejected on Play Store and Amazon too. Oof. Yeah, I've been hearing that a lot lately. I read that. So it's probably a bug in your code. All right, good one. Volley. Volley is what is Volley? I don't even know what Volley is. Is that a framework? Oh, you're answering the knowledge mixtures question there. Eighth question. Oh, seriously? All right, guys. All right. This is gonna be the last question from knowledge mixture. Let's see. Eighth question. Can you suggest to me which Admob ad I can use in my Android application? Maybe with like banner or interstitial or rewarded. I would go interstitial every time. Says hi Eric. I'm getting impressions and ad requests in the Admob dashboard, but I'm not seeing any ads in my app. I didn't get any notification from Admob. My account is still active and running. So yeah, I would think be careful checking ads in your app just because you don't want it to be a self-click type of situation where it's invalid traffic. And it's take a look at the requests because if the requests are going through, it could just be that they're not filling them. Maybe they just don't have any ads to display. Because it's not like they're just always doing. It's not like there's always an ad available. Sometimes it depends on the location. It depends on if somebody's paying for that ad. Overdrive apps. Yeah, I don't know if you guys remember that. It was kind of funny. I'll remember to move it before we go live. Oh, my thing. Let's see. Let's see. My app contents are Amharic language, Ethiopian language. So I received an email from Admob. Ad is disabled due to unsupported language. Really? That's not one of. That's weird. Could you just put it in another language? That sounds like a metadata issue, right? So is it when you said the ad is disabled? So the ad is disabled because it's unsupported language. Could you just do a different language? I mean, what's the? Is there another? The users of your application, what language would they be using? I've never experienced anything like that. Yeah. I am. I think the business is. It's difficult being a foreigner because I'm an American citizen, right? So I'm like a lot of this kind of stuff. I always feel a bit like I don't want to go apply for a whole bunch of stuff when there's like uh, but I'm hopefully I won't need to apply for any of this stuff, but. Thanks, Leo. Leo's put something. Mr. Robot, I start X. Corfox says a good thing about reading a book when you are on the toilet is that you use the pages and just read to wipe your buttocks with. Pro tip. Thank you for that pro tip. No, but I will use yeah. See, that's the thing. I used to use toilet paper as bookmarks. But yeah, we don't want to put that in. We don't want to put that in everyone's mind here. The knowledge mixture. when you were in a software house, did you copy code from Google? I mean, something you don't understand, you just copy it from Google and paste it in your code. Never anything I didn't understand. No, I don't. In fact, I hate it when I see somebody paste something in because the variable names are different, like my data connection, stuff like that. My stuff. That's something I can't stand. If I do copy code from like Stack Overflow example or something, I'm not saying I'm not willing to do that, but you got to understand how it works, right? Because it's mainly you're learning from that. But let's see. This robot says, I started doing Java. Recommend me more I could do to become an Android dev. Yeah, I think it'd be Java and SQLite and connecting to APIs. It depends on what you're gonna do, or SQLite, or Firebase, whatever you're gonna do. It depends on what you're gonna connect to. Right? Becoming a Java developer, if you're going for a job, then I would get a book and go through what they want to do. So error handling, like all the bits, like error handling, distribution. If you're putting something out there on your own, then guide that knowledge, that education, based on what it is you're trying to accomplish. 10th question. 10th question. 10th question, everybody. If you haven't given a thumbs up, I'm just going to keep saying that. We're going to try that now. In fact, I should have put that on the green screen behind me. Thumbs up. 10th question. Is your app logo a little bit similar to other app on Play Store? So will it affect? If you're talking about the app icon, it shouldn't be too similar. I think it really depends. If you look at any application, take a look at flashlight applications, a lot of those icons are going to be similar to each other. But for me, I think if you're going to do take the same color and the design style and everything like that, there's only so far you can go. Cross-platform RAD tools are cool and convenient, says Sophia. Sophia says, cross-platform RAD tools are cool and convenient, but the new languages like Swift and Kotlin being more like old BASIC, what would the advantages be? I mean, looking at Swift, it's so much easier using Swift than Objective-C. And Kotlin, I haven't really done much with at all. But it would be nice to be able to do the same language across both platforms. Let's see, you haven't used OpenAL in plain C, Eric. You haven't used OpenAL. And some people swear by procedural programming. No. I have Android Studio and Unity app development experience. Can I work for you remotely? I don't have any need at the moment, but Nick W says, sure, I'm native Chinese and an app maker since Symbian times. Oh, cool. Wow. I saw a video in which you introduce yourself in Chinese. We can discuss Ranjian Kaifa or anything about China. Ranjian Kaifa is software development. Ranjian is software. Kaifa is development. But yeah, I did this whole little spiel. Yeah, Nick, my background is, well, when I was in the Army, they sent me to school to learn Chinese, Mandarin, and then they sent me to school to learn Vietnamese. My Vietnamese sucks, but the Chinese, I would try to practice it whenever I can. And went to China I went to Shanghai and Dalian back in 2009 and met with all these different software companies and tried to practice my Chinese. So I was learn a bit of the vocabulary there. I got to tell you guys about this one of these days, because it was the big. I never felt like a bigger fraud than when I went to China as Overpass, working all these contracts with other offshore developers. And I'm going into these buildings with these thousands. There was one company that had 1,800 developers, software developers, and I go in there as Overpass, and they really rolled out the red carpet for me. It was I felt dude, they don't know that I'm working in my spare bedroom. And they were and the big boss would come down and talk to me, and the green tea and everything. I'm trying to use a bit of Chinese that I know, and then I also had a translator just in case I got stuck. And we talk about oh yeah, we had great things, and it was really nice. And they took me out at night and all this stuff, and but it was dude, it's I'm just looking for 2 or 3 developers. Yeah, Nick, cool, that's cool. In Kotlin, the ternary operator is literally an if-else statement, and the switch case uses the word when, no case, no break. There was something when I first used Apex in Salesforce. they had the upsert, the which is the insert or update, and I thought that was like, dude, that was like, it made such perfect sense. When you have a, because I guess in SQLite you could do, or SQLite and MySQL you could do insert if not exist. No, SQL in SQL Server I would say if not exist then insert, otherwise update. But like the upsert kind of did all that kind of stuff. Um, 11th question. Who's still here with me? If you're still here with me, say I don't know, say something. All right. So 11th question. All right. How do you develop apps? How do you develop apps? Really? Is it going to this one now? This is like the last. I mean, which process model you use, or you didn't study software engineering? My degree. So no, I've worked with lots of software developers. That's one of the things you guys are. I've said this before, but I hate to keep talking about it because I don't want you guys to think any less of me. But my degree was in history, so I studied history. And when I came out to England, I couldn't get a job anywhere, which is why it was hard for me to learn object-oriented programming, right? Because I started doing Visual Basic, and I was like learning as I go, and it was all nasty code, and then working with better developers, and then pretty soon then I was the higher paid person in there, and then I was a contractor coming in and doing all that kind of stuff. It's so sometimes people bring up something where just go, it's like we like design patterns is something that I learned, which really helped because it helped in terms of the industry, but like in terms of like a software engineering degree, I don't have that. So for me it was just learning as I go in different environments. But also I think one of the key things when you're learning anything new is just to realize how much you don't know, right? You're always I'm never going there like I'm the smartest guy in the room, because I'm not. Like I'll go in and I'll you look to see how somebody's doing, why are you doing it that way, and you start to see ways that things are done. So JavaScript, minify, obfuscate, uglify, great differences. Do a live stream from the moon. Oh, we could have done the moon. I think people would know though. That like the marketplace thing with the mask. Show me your thoughts about Pakistan. I don't. I mean, I wish you visit Pakistan for a tour. If yes, why not? If no, why? I'd love to go to Pakistan. Shivam here. Hey, Shivam. Memoon Game says, I'm a new developer in games. Is the app size matter on downloads? It will matter. You don't want to have anything that's too large because people want to download it, and they won't want to download it if it's too large. But even then, they might not even look. But however, when they, what is really going to hurt you is when they start running out of space on their phone, and we all know what it's like to run out of space on your phone. And then you do that search by what's the biggest applications, and that's the one that goes first. Oh, how the tables have turned. What are we talking about now? Oh, Apps Volley. Oh, Apps Volley is a native Android HTTP library. Okay, sorry. Andrew start. Take a drink is 15 questions. Some more to come. Oh, come on, man. Nice podcast. Thank you. Thanks, Sophia. Thanks for coming by the way. Eric, keep safe, keep well, and happy Easter. I recommend clubbing. IRL is always better. IRL is, what is IRL? Isn't IRL instant real-time language? That's the chat thing, right? It's IRL. Or is there something else? Oh, in terms of like going clubbing. Yeah, I suppose. Swift is a great language, but when versions update is craft. That's true. What would you recommend, Firebase or SQL? Preferably, it depends on what you want to do. It depends on the type of application. Like if it's tabular with lots of reporting, and I always go SQL. If it's something where you have like a lot of data which you don't need to aggregate, like chat, like if you have a chat rooms and stuff like that, Firebase is a really good one for that. Or like personal profile information, that would be really good for Firebase. Or something where you need that NoSQL, like that structure gone. But like if you've ever tried to run a report off of Firebase, it's a pain because you have to loop through all those objects and everything. And the query language is not quite as strong. Say something. Something. Am I not? Let's see, which makes Swift language a cover language, isn't it? And we're not going to go bad mouthing other languages here. Master IT Security says, hello, Eric. I know so much going on is happening in your life right now, and I just want to say your videos have kept me going, and you have made the difference. Wow, thank you so much. What a nice thing to say. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. IT Security. Master IT Security, sorry. Thank you very much. So, wow, well, that's made my weekend. I really appreciate that. You guys, all right. Court Funk and Fist 007, you guys need to stop stop sniping at each other. 13th question. I heard someone said that an app was suspended due to using a library in Android. I don't know what's the library it was using, but my question is, how many libraries for my ease is bad? If you use libraries for your ease, no, not necessarily. The thing is, if you're using a third-party library, you don't know what's in it, right? It could be, they could put anything in it. So it'd be good if you do something that's more mainstream. WatchTech says, do you use your own back-end API/resource downloading in all the apps? Resource downloading in the apps, and if so, which content delivery network are you using? Cloudflare, Firebase hosting, or AWS? Normally, if I do something like this for the resource downloading, I'll use AWS S3 because it's cheaper than Firebase. Firebase was like really expensive. Like it was to host like images and assets like that. Cloudflare, I use Cloudflare for web stuff, but I don't use it for applications. So our website runs off Cloudflare with the CDN that where the images are going. But when it comes to like an application one, it's just Amazon S3 because it's easy. So like let's say I take a profile picture. Like I take the camera, I take a profile picture, just upload it to S3, right? And then that way you can make it, just available there. And it's I just find that much easier to do it that way. And for me, it's all about the price. But what do you got? What do you guys use? Does anybody disagree with me? I mean, that was a few years ago that I looked at it. So it's like one of those things where you research it and you stick with that. And if the other ones have gotten cheaper, then it would be, I'll keep going with that. Matthew said, how would you monetize a choose your own adventure app? A choose your own adventure app if you're going from one thing to the next. So occasionally I would have interstitial ads in between those transition states. That would be a good way to do it. In real life. Oh, in real life. Duh. What am I thinking about? Sorry. Thank you, guys. Or IRL's Ireland. All right. So you think Sophia's saying it's better in Ireland? Could be. In real life. God, duh. This is like not even a technical. Oh, You guys are good. All right. Let's see. Which point of view about ads? About ads in apps, or prefer app to purchase to make money? I prefer in-app purchase. If you make in-app purchase work, it's just you got less stress. You got less. Admob doesn't shut you down. And nobody likes ads. Nobody likes ads. So if you can do in-app purchase, I would prefer that. Look, looks like it's pizza time or something like that. I ate before this. I made massive, nasty, greasy burgers. They had bacon and 3 types of cheese on them, and it was like for me and my son. And I feel like I'm grease coming out of my pores. It was excellent, but yeah, probably something like that. What would you recommend, Java or Android Studio or Dart or Flutter? Okay, one of them is an IDE. Okay, so we got. Oh, okay, so all right, what do you recommend? Java and Android Studio or Dart and Flutter? I recommend Dart and Flutter just if you're gonna go iOS. If you're not, then I think you always like if you did something in in Java and Android Studio and you did an Android only application, because you don't really care about iOS, do you? Screw them, screw Apple, right? But then let's say your app really took off on Android and you're like, how can I make more money from this? And you've got this whole other app store out there where people spend more money. Then that would make more sense. There are a lot of questions come in my mind while coding and developing, but with two T's, I forget many of the important questions now. Will I write it now and I'll ask you next Friday? Thanks a lot, man. Dude, we're good. We can just you just ask like two questions. I'll be all right with that. I think that Microsoft Azure is good enough. What are you talking about for like downloading stuff? That was a real dad moment. What was it? Oh, with that with my burgers? Yeah, it was. It really was. It's like it was really good. It was, yeah, excellent burgers. Oh, yeah, it was one of those things try to eat healthy, try to be better. I need to lose a bit of weight, but then you start thinking about oh, greasy, nasty burger. Oh, the greasier the better. By the way, I have nothing but respect for vegans. In fact, I think if there's anybody we should feel sorry for in this epidemic is vegans because they're like not eating anything, right? But it's I just can't do it. I just love that. So let's see. The best way to do iOS development is not to do iOS development. I agree with that. I loved OpenGL while in college. Oh, cool. Watch Deck says I tested all of them, and the cheapest is regular shared hosting like HostGator, GoDaddy, etc. Yeah, but I mean, it's more like with like if you just have like an like normal hosting, does that what my concern all with that was always that if I have like users in India, are they going to be downloading from servers in the UK, and is that going to have more jumps on the network, routing and everything? But that was my kind of my thing. Like HostGator, and then use Cloudflare as proxy, which will protect and cache all your hosting images for free. I think when I use Cloudflare, I think I only use it in WordPress, and I haven't even thanks for that, Watch. I haven't even thought about using that in apps. Let's see. Knowledge base. I feel I felt you're in a hurry, so I'm not asking any other questions further. I keep it for the next Friday. Huh? You are not explaining. I'm not explaining. Yeah. I'm gonna have to start wrapping things up here because my voice is starting to go. I want to know: is it necessary to do a job to get started your own business, or can we just learn from many internet resources to get started your own business? Look, if you were going to start a plumbing business, would it be better if you became a plumber first? Maybe, or would it be better that you were going out and hire plumbers and you thought about the user experience first, like when people call in, all that kind of stuff, so you have the business experience there. If you were a plumber and you started a plumbing business, you would find that all the other plumbers that you hired once you started to expand a little bit were nowhere near as good as you were, and you would still be in the job. So you at some point, and what I find difficult is making that leap from being the developer to being the manager and being the one who's not coding anymore. I find that difficult because I am a perfectionist, and some things I'm like, dude, just do it this way. Do it this way. Why is this taking so long? Whatever. And it could be very stressful for my developers and everything too. But for me, I prefer knowing how to do what I do, especially when I get other people to do. But I think in some ways, I think I would be better off if I slammed my fingers in the keyboard and wasn't able to code anymore because it would force myself to delegate more, or if I never knew how to do it to begin with. And if something, sorry, what did um, and if something is wrong with your server, you can use URL forwarding the temporary point to your backup or substitution content or pay. That's a very good point. So that's one of those good things about using a domain when you're serving rather than going via IP addresses, because if that server ever goes down, you can quickly point that domain to a new place. And Cloudflare takes care of routing. Okay, for me, it works for me for 5,000 active users downloading wallpapers daily. Dude, thanks, Watch. I'm gonna keep that in mind. That's very useful information. To be able to start your own business, you need to start your own business. Yeah. Have a Corona with a lime. That'll soothe your voice. Cheers, man. Thanks, Leo. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining the live stream this week. Hour and 35 minutes. That's not so bad, right? It's not 2 hours at least, right? I really appreciate you guys showing up. Thanks for all the kind words you've said. I hope you guys all stay healthy, stay safe. We'll do this again next week about the same time at 5 p.m. UK time. I'll try to remember to schedule it in advance again so that everybody's here. And I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. Happy Easter, and I'll talk to you again next weekend.
Winterland, tell me all your secrets. Feel